years. We've been producing renewable dimethyl ether since 2020, and it's in operation today. And we are shipping renewable dimethyl ether literally around the world. Most of this goes, though, to California, where Suburban Propane, the third largest propane company in the U.S., is blending it in with their propane fuel and putting it into forklifts in California. And you'll notice, every vessel there looks like a propane vessel, and that's because the LPG industry is investing and planning and doing the work to incorporate dimethyl ether into the supply chain. So the LPG industry is essential energy for off-grid applications. A lot of times I think we don't think about the LPG industry because it kind of just happens. It's there, but if you look, you'll see the trucks, you'll see the tanks, and it's providing energy to those who oftentimes don't have another option. So it's critical energy. It has a vast existing infrastructure that's built out and ready to take on renewables. It's already low carbon today, but the industry is making the investment to become even lower carbon. This is a busy slide. We're not going to go through all of this, but Indonesia, India, Europe, and other countries are making moves to renewable, and there are many LPG companies and countries that are saying renewable dimethyl ether is part of that mix. It is going to be one of the molecules that we move on. So, a couple things I'll highlight here. The World LPG Association, based out of Paris, they're literally redefining the definitions of LPG, the definition of LPG, to incorporate renewable dimethyl ether into that mix. Liquid Gas UK is doing technical research, and a number of companies sitting on the stage here, as well as in the audience, who are doing the work to be ready when as more renewable dimethyl ether comes to market. And that's why it's such an opportunity for the anaerobic digestion and the biogas industry. Here's just a smattering of logos of the companies that I work with almost weekly that are part of committees and working groups that are preparing the industry to either blend in DME into the LPG supply, or in some cases, use it in place of LPG for customers that demand a very low carbon or perhaps even a carbon negative fuel, which renewable DME can be. But it's not just the LPG industry. There are others as well who see the potential and see the future of dimethyl ether. Companies like Fiat Powertrain or FPT Industrial, they're researching DME. Ford is doing research in both Germany and Canada. California Air Resources Board is doing research on this front, and Stanadyne is a major fuel system component manufacturer. They've recently released a DME-compatible fuel system. The U.S. Department of Energy has invested money in 2021 for nearly $4.5 million, and I expect any day now, maybe even this Friday, we'll see they're going to announce another $2.5 million in funding for DME research. And Los Alamos National Lab with the Department of Energy, they've been researching, and we're part of this project, to do DME steam DME reforming. It says DME is an excellent hydrogen carrier, and reforming hydrogen off of DME. And here's kind of what that looks like. By using the LPG industry's transportation and storage, you can do what would be 3 tube trailers worth of hydrogen in one similar sized LPG tanker. So it's, the challenge with hydrogen is how do I store it, how do I transport it? The LPG industry, through renewable dimethyl ether, is ready to help address that challenge. And we at Oberon Fuels see this opportunity, and in fact, we have a patent pending or a patent filed on a DME to hydrogen reformer. We're building one today, and yet this year we'll have 1,000 kilogram per day DME to hydrogen reformer in operation, and in 2024 we'll start building units that do anywhere from 2,500 to 5,000 kilograms per day. So towards that end, we at Oberon Fuels are ready to go on this opportunity. We have plant designs prepared. On the left is the biogas plant. We use 50,000 cubes per day to feed into that, which I recognize is not small, but it's also not huge. That produces 9,000 tons per year of DME. On the right, you can also use methanol, renewable methanol as a feedstock. We just change our design a bit. And that project, and with that process, we can scale it up considerably. If you look at the demand and the potential for taking biogas into DME, if we look at, let me open my cheat sheet, because I have to do numbers. I don't do chemistry, and I don't do numbers really well. So if we were to look at the European market potential of biogas, well, of DME, Europe could use 20 million tons per year of DME. But to put that into biogas terms, we could use 40 billion cubes per year of biogas, which is a tall order, but the point there is the demand through the LPG industry is there. And there are market opportunities that happen because of that demand. And by working with the LPG industry, we open up a hydrogen industry opportunity as well, because we can build out that hydrogen infrastructure nearly overnight. The last thing I'm going to mention, earlier today, we announced a partnership between Oberon Fuels and DCC. For those of you in Europe, you may know of DCC through Flowgas and Butagas, or their LPG companies in Europe. And through this partnership, we are bringing the Oberon process to Europe and are actively pursuing biogas projects and biogas feeds to produce DME for this industry. So it's an exciting